Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let me tell y'all something, man. Devin Haney and Lomachenko, I'm rooting for both of them. I always want to see boxers make the most money possible, okay? So I want to get that out the way. This is a sport that we love, right? So we should be rooting for these guys. But I'm going to tell you right now, Devin Haney and Lomachenko, you can expect a pay-per-view fail. And you say, why you say that? I'm going to tell you right now. Because Devin Haney is already worried about Lomachenko and how he feels Lomachenko's not helping to promote the fight. And Devin Haney should be worried because Devin Haney alone can't promote the fight. As great of a fighter that Devin Haney is, although he gets a lot of people hating on him, you know what I'm saying? Which I understand why some people say, hey, he's not proven. Look at his resume. Who has he fought? And I can understand their argument if it's based on the opponents he's faced. But I can't understand their argument by questioning Devin Haney's potential and capabilities when you look at his skill set and the things that he does in the ring. Now, I will say this. For Devin Haney, he hasn't shown me that he has different options. Okay? And what I mean by that is he'll come in behind his jab, he'll throw the right hand, he'll clinch. It's not often you see him really throw check hooks. When he does throw an uppercut, he's on the inside, he may get it off real quick. But you're not really seeing, multiple options of the skill set, layers and layers to his to his abilities. You're just seeing a basic Devin Haney kind of style, which is jab, jab, maybe a right hand clinch. He may try to counter you on the inside as he bumps you, step around on an angle. And what he does extremely well. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's no need for Devin Haney to have all of the tools that Floyd Mayweather had if he can put on a display like Ike Corte and win a fight with his jab alone. Okay? If he can do that, then why sit here and make things complicated? So I see both sides of the argument there. But I will tell you this, when you say, hey, this whole thing about the pay-per-view and it failing, is that because Devin Haney hasn't proven that he's a pay-per-view success. Look, it's hard for anyone to become a pay-per-view success. Doesn't matter how great you are at a young age, that you're an undisputed champion. It just takes a while to get to that point. You just have to have the right people behind you, man. You got to have the right platform and just have the right opportunities and the right fights. And Devin Haney is getting there. But I'm going to tell you this, it's going to be hard to get there because a lot of people have issues with DAZN. Now, when we talk about DAZN, right, this right here is ESPN Plus. If you want to watch Devin Haney and Lomachenko, you got to pay basically $60 to watch them. But this is the catch. With DAZN, you got to pay whatever it is the price to watch their pay-per-view events, right? Then you got the whole thing about the subscription and everything else. People don't want to commit to DAZN because they don't want to deal with that subscription. When it comes to ESPN Plus and ESPN, it's basically the same approach that ESPN is taking, just like DAZN. And people are looking at that and they don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to deal with that. They don't want to even worry about paying a monthly subscription just in order for them to sit there and get the fight. Because a lot of people do forget at the end of the month to cancel. You know what I'm saying? So I think this right here is going to hurt the pay-per-view numbers, as well as the fact that Haney and Lomachenko don't really have crossover appeal. Now, I personally think with Devin Haney and his concerns when it comes to this event, it's the same thing Anthony Joshua went through with Deontay Wilder. When Deontay Wilder knocked out Dominique Breazeale, Anthony Joshua was crapping bricks. Comes to the States, has a fight with Andy Ruiz. He wants to outdo Deontay Wilder's knockout. He wants to get a knockout early in the fight against Andy Ruiz. He put his foot on the grass and on the gas and he got clipped. Same thing here. The difference is we're talking pay-per-view numbers. Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if they really did 900,000 or if they did 1.4 million buys, right? The bottom line is they did more than what I thought they would do, and they did more than what most people thought they would do in pay-per-view buys. Just the fact that number, if we go with the conservative, number that's being rumored to have sold, right? Let's just say that number's cresting very close to 1 million in pay-per-view buys. That's a damn good job. So what you guys, Devin Haney, looking at that, and now he's feeling that pressure to knock it out the park on pay-per-view sales. Same way Joshua felt that pressure to knock out Andy Ruiz like Deontay Wilder. The thing is, for Devin Haney to realize, Tank Davis had the right dancing partner. And I don't care what anyone says. Ryan Garcia had a lot to do with that event selling over 1 million. Well, cresting right about 1 million. And I will say this. Gervonta Davis' next fight, you can't expect him to do another million, okay? It doesn't matter who he fights, because who else outside of Ryan Garcia can Gervonta Davis fight that would bring in such a large fan base? He's got to fight a Jake Paul. He's got to fight a KSI. He's got to do some weird exhibition match and fight a Logan Paul. He's not going to get there with Devin Haney. He's not going to get there with Shakur Stevenson. He's not going to get there with Frank Martin. Tank Davis and Rolly Romero's that's not going to do it either. So what I'm saying is you got to have the right dance partner with the crossover appeal. And I think for Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia and those pay-per-view numbers, that was more of a supplementary relationship than a complementary relationship. What I mean by supplementary is Ryan Garcia had a lot more to do with those pay-per-view numbers than Tank Davis. And that's just my opinion. I'd even go on to say that's a fact. Now, when you look at what we have here in Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, this is another one of those amazing fights. Two amazing fighters. You got the guy, Lomachenko, 400 and something amateur fights, 1 loss, 2-time gold medalist. Man's a 3 different weight division champion. It's amazing. Devin Haney, super young. I think he's the youngest undisputed champion. Amazing talent. Father, whatever you think about him, supporting his son, making a few million every fight, made good money for Kambosos, about to make good money for Lomachenko. This is a really, really good fight. The problem is the crossover appeal is not there. The following's not there. And as far as this being a tactical battle, skill for skill, highly intelligence, IQ type battle, I think is more of that here than it was in Tank versus Ryan Garcia. So for the casual boxing fan who really appreciates boxing in its purest form, this fight should get them more, to get them kind of bubbling up more than Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. But that doesn't mean this fight is going to do big pay-per-view numbers. Now, I'm going to sit here and tell you right now, you can't compare Devin Haney and pay-per-view numbers to anybody. Okay? That's not fair to try to do that to him. And I'm going to say it's going to be unfair for them to say, okay, well, Devin Haney fought Lomachenko. Let's say he does less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys, right? That's not his fault. It's not really Lomachenko's fault. If you want to see those kind of numbers where these guys are doing over 500,000, you got to put them in there with the right opponent. Okay? And that's just the reality of it, man. But I'm going to tell you right now, what my concern is, while I'm talking to you, I'm going to pull this up because I'm going to tell you right now what my concern is. Because, I can't find all the particulars on it, but I'm going to tell you what my concern is, man. Because I think it's unfortunate when you see this kind of stuff happening, But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm pulling something up. I did a video a while ago where I talked about fighters being paid on a curve. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that when it comes to Devin Haney, I truly believe that he could be in a position very much so like what I was talking about when it comes to these fighters and these fighters being paid on a curve. And I think that's what's happening here, where Bob Arum is kind of taking a look at how PBC are doing business and saying, okay, we got minimums that we're going to give these guys, these guarantees. But as far as the big money that they want, we're going to roll the dice on pay-per-view. And we'll say basically if you guys do a X amount of pay-per-view numbers, we'll give you 50% of the pay-per-view sales. Now, this right here, let me see if it pulled up. This right here is the video that I did where I was talking about fighters being paid, pay-per-views being graded using the curve, where it talks about fighters are getting significantly less money than what boxers were paid over the last few years. And then I was talking about the low guarantee a fighter receives. They can be made to feel that their promoter's taking care of them, because once the final revenues are tabulated, the fighter ends up seeing up to an 800% increase in their purse. Basically saying if you tell someone, hey, we give you a $1 million guarantee, and they end up going up there and they end up making $8 million at the end of the day, based on just what the pay-per-view numbers do. But that's a video to go look at. It breaks it down a little more than what I was just telling you about. But I think that's kind of what's going on with Devin Haney here and Bob Arum. Because Devin Haney, he's all about his money. And those people who paid Devin Haney when he fought Kambosos, it wasn't top rank. That the Australian, I don't know if it was the government or what body out there, but that's where that money came from. Bob Arum's not paying Devin Haney no damn $10 million, $15 million. Y'all can get out of here with that. Okay? But that's why they're trying to do this pay-per-view. They're hoping that the pay-per-view numbers do big numbers so it can help close that gap as far as what they can really afford to give him and what he wants. And they're like, look, it's all on you. And that's why Devin Haney is stressing about this damn Lomachenko not promoting the fight, because he knows if those pay-per-view numbers don't hit a certain mark, he ain't going to make the kind of money he wants. He's going to end up kind of in a situation like Deontay Wilder, where he returns to boxing after that third Fury fight, comes back to fight Hellenius, thinks he's going to get the support, of the boxing fans, do 500,000 or so, maybe 1 million pay-per-view buys, make 30, 40, 50 million. And Deontay Wilder didn't make no money for that fight. No money. Very, very little. It's ridiculous. Pay-per-view sales weren't even over 80,000. That's a problem. And I think Devin Haney's about to walk into the exact same situation. But that being said, when it comes to Devin Haney, when it comes to Lomachenko, got a good fight, man. And I personally think Lomachenko deserves more credit, and I don't really think he should be quite the underdog in this fight. I'm not saying he should be the favorite, but I just think there are some people who are really counting Lomachenko out. And I don't understand how they're just counting this man out. He just recently did an interview where he talked about a few things. One was just his ego and understanding that it wasn't his time and this is his time, and what's not meant for him isn't meant for him. And it seemed like he put some things in perspective about his own career and his life. And I'm glad to hear Lomachenko talk like that, because that tells me when he gets in the ring with Devin Haney, we're going to see the best Lomachenko. And if Devin Haney beats him like many people expect, shouldn't be any excuses. No injuries, nothing about the war in Ukraine, nothing. He's healthy, he's 100%, he's totally focused. And he's got to go in there, man, and defeat the younger, bigger, stronger, more active Devin Haney. Can he do it? Of course he can. Will he? I mean, that's yet to be seen. But the one thing that I don't think is going to happen is I just don't think these guys are going to get the numbers they want. You already know Devin Haney and Tank Davis talking about fighting. Devin saying he'll only hang around for Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis at 135 because he knows the type of money that should be there. But I'm going to tell you this. if he's trying to fight Tank Davis in the States, Tank Davis is going to be the A side in the fight, especially if these pay-per-view numbers come back, especially at a $60 price point, and they come back at $100,000 or less. When Tank and Ryan just did $85 per pay-per-view and did, like I said, close to $1 million. So Devin Haney's not going to have a leg to stand on. Those belts aren't going to mean anything. You're going to be in a Usyk versus Tyson Fury situation. But I'll tell you what could save Devin Haney. If he gets through Lomachenko and he's like, you know what? I'm going to press and fight Tank Davis. People, that's a huge fight. That is a huge fight. But you know what? You know what agency, what promotion faction wants Devin Haney to come and fight? Skills Challenge Promotion. Amir Abdallah, who's the president, Derek Chisora is the face of boxing for Saudi Arabia. Prince Khalid. They want Devin Haney to come fight in Saudi. And let me tell you this. If, in fact, Devin Haney's looking to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, he's not dumb to sit here and try to fight in Las Vegas. He's going to try to take that fight over there to the Middle East, to Saudi, to where now there's no A-side crap. You go over there and get your flat fee. Maybe Devin Haney gets more, maybe he gets less. That's not Gervonta Tank Davis' business. You get what you negotiate or what the prince wants to give you. And at the end of the day, Devin Haney is the undisputed champion. If he gets through Lomachenko, he's still undisputed. Those belts matter. And, not going to get into this, but let's just say he's Muslim, okay? So they're going to respect that. They're going to be very grateful and honored to have a Muslim fighter fighting out there. So don't be surprised if you see Devin Haney go that route, because his dad's not dumb. He's not dumb either. He's a grown man now. They know that the type of money they can make fighting out there compared to fighting here stateside, especially if this pay-per-view flops, like I anticipated doing. They're not going to sit here and go round and round with Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby and Espinoza and all that crap. They're going to say, take it to Saudi. And for those of you saying, nah, Saudi, they won't, Showtime, Al Heyman won't do that, I'm telling you right now, Deontay Wilder, he's going to do it. I personally think Earl Spence is heading out there with Terrence Crawford. And I think you're going to see more people going out there. And I think Tank Davis will be another one. Boxing is a business, man. Nobody's going to walk away from $25, $30, $40 million. They're not going to do that, man. So just understand, there's enough money to go around out there in the Middle East for these guys to bring this top talent from the States out there to fight. And they're going to do it. And they're already heading that direction, and they want to continue to grow Skill Challenge Promotion. And they're looking to put these promoters and managers and everybody out of business and deal directly with the fighters. Can they do it? I don't know. But I tell you what, you offering fighters, man, who would normally make $2-3 million, you offering them $15 million for a fight. Guys who will make $10-15 million, you offer them $50 million for a fight. That'll make somebody sit here, man, and maybe forget about being so loyal, because an extra 10, 15, 20 million over loyalty, tell you something, money talks and loyalty walks. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Devin Haney can't blame Lomachenko. He's just put in a position where, you know what, neither one of them are draws. They're talented fighters, and an exceptionally interesting fight. But if he wants to go on, if he beats Lomachenko and be the A side and anything, he gonna have to take it to Saudi, because they're gonna hold everything against Devin Haney. Them belts are not going to matter, because Tank Davis right now is riding the wave. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents, in the breeze.